perfect. So, Akerol, as I say, is your freshwater container. Wastemaster is for your wastewater. Now, what it is that's 40 litres, this is 50 litres. What you'll find is, if you've run out of fresh water, it's time to empty your waste.
Yeah.
Okay?
Sounds good.
Lovely, and then obviously your toilet chemicals, pink is for your rinse, so that's what you flush the toilet with, and the blue is the chemical that goes in the cassette below, but I'll show you that as we're on the way round. Okay, happy with that so far?
Yeah.
Perfect, so I'll move on to the actual caravan itself now. So on the front is your stabiliser hitch, so it's grease-free, paint-free tow ball. The cleaner your tow ball is, the better this stabiliser will work. And all it does is when you close it down like that, it grips onto the tow ball, so it gives you added stability when you're going down the road.
Yeah.
Okay, then obviously underneath is your main hitch, your red breakaway cable. Handbrake on this unit is as easy as, handbrake off, handbrake on. Simple as that, no buttons or anything to press. Obviously jockey wheel winds up and down, and then raise and lower on the bar on the side there. But all of this will make more sense when I hook it up to the car for you.
Yeah,
okay. And then 13 pin for your lights and your electrics.
Yeah.
Alright, happy so far?
Yeah.
Lovely. So, into the gas locker at the front here. Now, inside there's your brand new power cable.
Yeah.
Your brand new leg winder and your wheel wrench as well inside there for you.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, then brand new gas bottle fitted in, ready to go, and your pigtail. So your gas system is on. All you need to do is just turn your bottle on and off directly from the bottle. There's a shut-off valve on the back here, but that's more for when the guys are safety checking your van. So for yourselves, when you want gas, just literally turn it directly on at the bottle. When you don't want your gas, just turn it on.
Yeah.
Okay, happy?
Yeah.
Lovely. So, moseying on down the side.
The other bracket is for another bottle.
Yeah, if you wanted to carry the two.
Yeah. Do you want possibly one you're running, using, and a spare?
Yeah, and a spare. It all depends on how much gas you're going to use. If you're going to sites where you've got diesel electric all the time, you probably won't use much gas. But for people that do wild caravanning, as I call it, where they're in a field in the middle of nowhere, they will obviously use a lot more gas and less electric. So then they would probably have gas. So I'd see how you get on. You'll probably find that will last you a good 2-3 months, depending on how much you use it.
Well, it's got a microwave, isn't it?
Yeah. So it all depends. So for your legs, your stability legs, your front ones are on the side. So there's one this side, one on the other.
Yeah.
And obviously all you do is pop your leg winder on and wind it down until they're stiff on the floor. When they hit the floor, what you want to do is give it, say, 2 turns. But if you've done this on that one, do the same on all the others. If you get what I mean, because if you jack one up higher than the other, you will find she'll be wobbly because the one leg's slightly higher than the other. But you'll have all the fun of figuring that one out. So, Truma vent. So this is the vent for your hot water boiler as well as your heating system. It'll run on gas and electric at the same time. There's no covers or anything to remove. That vent just sits there and does its job. Only thing to watch is not to lean anything up against that bit of the van because obviously a lot of heat is exchanged out of it when it's in full tilt. Okay.
Yep.
So, water inlet next. So, this is my Akerol, but obviously you've got your Akerol there. But this is your water pipe with the van. So, to remove it, all it is a little trigger underneath, hold it, gentle wiggle, and off she comes. And then all it is on the bottom is a particle filter.
Yeah.
Okay, so all you do is drop your particle filter in, down to the bottom, and clip her on. And that's as simple as that. All the rest of the water functions is all done inside.
Yeah.
Happy so far?
Yeah.
Lovely. So, keep coming down. So, obviously where my bucket is, you can see the 2 waste outlets.
Yeah.
So that's obviously where your 2 waste pipes go in, and then the one individual one into your Wastemaster.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is, one sink does your kitchen area, the other one does the shower in the bathroom in the back.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, toilet. Now, have you ever seen one of these before?
No.
Totally brand new. Let me just grab the keys then, 2 seconds. Right, so, top one is your flush tank. So this is when you press your electric flush on top of the toilet, this is where the fluid comes from to swill your toilet out and flush it for you. You will need a watering can, or I just carry, one of the big square water bottles. I just carry one of them just so you can fill it up.
Yeah.
Or you can, if you've got a little bit of hose pipe, just run it through. And then all you do is pink liquid, it does say measure it out, but I just tend to go
Yeah.
That's it, it's in. All it is a nice smelling fragrance for in your toilet. And you can literally fill it up all the way up to the top.
Okay.
But I would only fill it up for the amount you think you're going to use the toilet. So again, if you're in a field in the middle of nowhere, definitely fill it up to the top. But if you're just going away for a weekend, I'd probably only half fill it or so. But you'll get used to that the more that you use it. Only reason I say that, if you filled it up and hardly used it, you want to take some out before you get on the road. Obviously, because it's right on the back of the van.
Okay, yeah.
Imagine it gets motion going, it could slosh out inside. So drain some off, but I'll show you how you drain it off. So fresh water, pink liquid in the top.
Okay.
Okay?
Have you
Then,
done that ready for us for today?
I haven't.
Oh, you haven't? No. Okay.
No. We don't tend to fill things up, especially this time of the year, because we don't know whether you're using it or not today. It does come with free toilet chemicals inside, so
Okay.
you have got some chemicals to put it in to get you going. But we don't put fluid in, obviously this time of the year with it still freezing. Unless you're using it in operation, you're fine. But if you're not using it, you want to be draining out all the fluids back out of it.
Okay.
So, the business ends. Normally the man's department, but you never know, I won't be sexist. So, your lovely toilet cassette. It is a trolley dolly version, so you don't have to carry it when you're emptying it. And how it works is, inside here, you either use blue or green liquid. And roughly, it's about a capful of liquid and another capful of water. All the liquid does, it starts breaking down the nasties in here and neutralises all the odour. So when you're emptying it, it just smells like you're emptying a chemical toilet. Doesn't smell like you're emptying.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, once you put your liquid in, obviously all you need to do is just pop it back in. That's it. All the rest of the functions are done inside. When it's full and it comes to empty it, so for example, if you're up on Love to Stay and you've used the green liquid inside here instead of the blue, the green is biodegradable. So what that means is you can empty it on the drain on your pitch. If you've got blue chemical in there, there is a vending machine up there that will empty it, or there's an Elson point, which is like a big metal sink that you empty it into there.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it comes to emptying, all you do is unscrew your cap. Now don't put it on the wall or anything where you're tipping it in, because if you knock it in, you don't want to go in after it. Just put it somewhere safe. And all you simply do is tip it up, press the button on the back there. And all the goodness will come out of there. And then all I tend to do is just give mine a bit of a swell, empty the last of it out, recharge it back up with blue or green liquid. In you go, put your lid on, push it round, and then very simply back in. It's as easy as that. And it's just this handle there that locks it into place. So to remove it, all it is lift the handle, slide around.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Super.
And you will know when this is filling up because it'll light up on top of the toilet for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good tip, if it's starting to light up, think about emptying it, because I had my two little nieces stay with me and they didn't tell me and they'd overflowed it.
Oh, really?
So by the time you pull that out, there's still stuff in the toilet, put it that way. So once it's getting full, it's nice that I've made all these mistakes so you don't have to. So take it out and empty it nice and early. So for draining this tank down, what there is, just sitting in the top there, a lovely rubber hose. And all you need to do is just simply pull that bung out and it will drain the contents of the tank down. That's where I say I carry a square squash bottle.
Yeah.
Because all I do is drain it off into the bottle, put it back in my gas locker. Next time I go away, I've got it there to stick back in.
All right.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
which is the easiest way. It saves tipping it away, you're not wasting it. And then you've always got diluted pink stuff ready and all you need to do is tip it in.
Okay.
So that's where, I mean, if you've topped it up, don't fill it up, leave some, and then if you do all of a sudden need some more, it's easier to top it up than it is
So
to take
pink
it out.
in there and green in there.
Yeah, pink in the top, blue or green in the bottom.
Blue or green, yeah.
So it's always the woman on top, that's the easiest way I always remember it. So
Okay,
pink in
yeah.
the top.
Yeah.
Yeah? Happy with that then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, I can see you're going to take to this like a dream.
Do you reckon?
Yeah! It's one of them, as I say, I know it's like, oh wow, how am I going to remember all this? But with caravanning, you'll get yourselves into a routine.
Yeah.
And you'll both have your own things that you do. So normally us men things is put it in, sight it, get the legs down, start setting it upside, while the wife's inside, potting around, getting the plates out and moving stuff around
Yeah.
and making it look attractive inside. So we're normally out here doing the rough and gruff and the ladies are making it look pretty. So we'll mosey on round the back. So obviously I've got your number plate, so I'll get that stuck on for you. Not much too exciting on the back. Handles either side as well as the front. If you ever need to push and pull your van around, always do it by the handles. Don't push on the bodies of the van. Always just use your handles.
Okay.
Metal racks on the back there are designed for a bike rack. So if you did want to add one on, it's cheaper to get one put on here than it is to get these no bike racks. So it's a bit of a token gesture off Swift.
Okay.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely, so we'll mosey on round. So now we get to your lovely underbed locker. So underneath here, inside here is your spare wheel, your table pole and the bits for your bunk beds, but I'll show you more of that on the inside.
Yeah.
Now, fantastic storage space, just watch what you're putting in here for travelling. Yeah, watch what you're putting in here for travelling. Anything heavy, always put between the axles. in the centre of the tyres, but obviously when you get to site, you can cram that full of whatever you want.
Yeah.
But if you overload this, when you get on the road, you'll notice you'll be very twitchy. So if you do ever get set off, you have put a bit much in here, you're a bit concerned, you will notice it. If she's a bit twitchy as she's going, just stop somewhere safe, transfer the weight out of here, put it in the centre, and you won't have a single bit of problem.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Lovely. And it is dual access, so if she locks you out, you want to be careful she doesn't make you sleep under it.
It's a bit bumpy.
In the silicone. Fridge vents. Not much too exciting to say about these. I have got it currently running on gas, so a lot more heat comes out of this side because it's just where the gas vent comes out. So with a caravan fridge, it will run on electric or gas, or obviously off the car when you're towing down the road as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wheels and tyres. While we're here, Swift make it so easy. Put all the details here on the door. So it's 28 psi per tyre.
Yeah.
And it's 130 newton meters for your wheel nuts. Okay, so that's the torque setting of your wheel nuts. They've been torqued in the PDI. I've torqued them again for you today, but from today onwards it's down to yourselves to be checking. So please, before you set off, it takes 2 minutes to go around and check them. If you've got a torque wrench, fantastic. If not, just use your tyre iron in the front there. All it is make sure your wheel nuts are nice and tight before you get on the road. Okay.
That's your department.
Yeah, we're getting to your department in a minute, so don't worry. You've obviously got your external 240.
Yeah,
so your mains
perfect.
power outside, and then we've got your leisure battery fitted in, ready to go for you. And then obviously next door is your 240, is your mains power. Okay. Are you happy how the 12 volt and the 240 system work in here? Do you want me to give you a quick?
Is it not just different sockets, no?
Yeah, all it is the 12 volt system runs things like your lights and bits and bobs like that, but obviously stuff like your microwave, TVs and things like that, it's 240, so it's mains electric. So without having a mains lead in, your plug sockets and things are dead as such until you've put the mains power in.
Right.
So 12 volt runs the sort of basics, where the 240 gives you full use of your whole van.
Okay.
But at the same of things, you're not going to be doing much wild camping, so you'll always be on mains electric, which
Yeah.
gives you the full use of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
will be.
But how it works mainly is what the 240 is doing is running a battery charger which recharges up that battery. So even though it's running off the 12 volt system, the 240 is putting the power back in, so it gives you a constant cycle. You'll never run out of power.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely. Right, are we ready for the exciting bit inside then? It's got to be ladies first. Now don't be alarmed, I've ripped it apart. It's
Yeah.
Everything's hidden away in here, so it's easier for me to
Got filthy
leave
feet.
it dismantled, and then I'll put it back together for you.
Okay.
So, first thing I'll talk about, that lovely silver box that's there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's your consumer unit, they call it. It's like the powerhouse for the van, so it's what controls all the power inside the vehicle.
Yeah.
So in the very top corner, do you see the black rectangle shaped button?
Yeah.
Top left? That is your system shutdown button. What that does is isolate all the van itself.
Okay.
So if you're leaving it anywhere for any period of time, you can hit that black button and it'll isolate your 12 volt system, so it means there's no drain off your battery when you're not with it.
Okay.
Okay? Obviously when you come back to it, you need to switch that one back on because it's like a master switch for on
When
and
you
off.
say leave it for a while, do you mean like for weeks?
Yeah, if you're leaving
Yeah.
it a few weeks and you're not with it, obviously if you're leaving it overnight, I wouldn't really worry too much, but if you're leaving it for a few weeks, yes, because it stops the drain off the battery.
Okay.
Okay, then moving across the top, we've got the red one there. It's not a button, it's a light as such. It's more for if you go abroad. If that's lighting up, it's letting you know there's a problem with the power externally. Nothing wrong with your van, it's just letting you know it's reverse polarity outside. So it shuts it off, and all you need to do is either rewire your lead, an adapter on the end of it, and that once that red light's gone out, it's powering up the van for you.
Right, yeah.
Okay, the green and the orange one there are buttons. The green one is for your battery charger. The orange one is for your heating and hot water. But what you can do is leave them two on constantly because they're only ever live when you're plugged into mains electric.
Okay.
And when you're on mains electric, A, you want your battery charger going recharging at your 12 volt system,
Yeah.
and B, you want your heating and hot water running on mains electric.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about them two as such.
Yeah.
We've then got the flap on the left hand side is your 12 volt fuses, so the same as you've got in your car.
Yeah.
But what it is with these ones, they've got little red LED lights next to them if they've blown. So no rooting through looking for a fuse, just open it up. If you see a red light in there, you know that fuse is blown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then the next one further up is your 240 breakers, so same as the circuit breakers that you've got inside your house.
Yeah.
But then on the inside of the door here, the young lady watches her toes.
All right. Yeah.
That little blue sticker there, you've got the 12 volt fuses and the 240 breakers.
Okay, yeah.
So any electrical problems, that's your first port of call as such.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as I say, I know I've ripped it apart now, but for yourselves, unless you've isolated it to leave it for a period, you don't really need to get down there as such.
No.
Yeah.
So it's only if you've turned the black button off.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I'll put it back together for you now, just so you can see, because the next one is the boiler's underneath the next corner.
Okay.
So I couldn't take it all apart, I just took apart what I could. So, obviously the big wide cushions are your bases. That's just drops down there, like that. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then, even if I can remember, it's that one, that's that one, and then one more in the corner. As easy as that.
Perfect.
So then, the next one. I do love this layout, but not for demonstrating. So, in the top corner up there, there is your boiler, your
Yeah.
10 litre hot water boiler, as well as your heating system. All integrated in the one unit. There is nothing to switch on and off, because all the controls are up above the door there for you.
Oh, right, okay.
Okay, so I'm just literally showing you where the unit is. The only one that's important, can you see that yellow tap that's sitting down flat on the blue pipework there?
Yeah.
So what that blue tap is, that yellow tap, is your drain off tap. So are you using the van tonight?
Yes.
Yes.
Fantastic. So when you're finished tonight, if you're then taking it home to park it up or storage wherever, as you're packing down in the morning, just simply lift that yellow lever so it sits straight up in the air.
Yeah.
Leave your taps open in the central positions, obviously with your water pump switched off. And what it will basically do is drain all the water out the van straight onto the floor.
Oh, okay.
Underneath on there. So obviously the importance of doing that, especially this time of the year, is we're still having frost.
Yeah.
And if you leave water in it with plastic pipes, you will find it will split your
Yeah.
pipes.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then what I'll do is leave your taps open, leave that, oh sorry my dear, leave that valve lifted up, and then if there is any water still in the system, it can move freely along the pipe so it won't freeze up.
Right,
Yeah.
Okay, but then obviously next time you come to use it, all you simply need to do is attach your water outside, drop the valve back down like that, and then it's pulling water through your tap that primes up the system for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Simple as
Yeah.
that. Happy with that?
Yeah.
Lovely. There we go, that's the destructive bit out of the way, so I promise I won't rip your van apart much more.
That's why I didn't want the carpet there.
Right then, I'll get the control panels above the door out because this is the last mind puzzling thing.
Okay.
I'll talk you through the basics first and then I'll talk through the rest of it. So, this main unit here, that's your sort of main control unit for the vehicle. So, on off is just the one at the bottom there.
Yeah.
Let me just turn your heating off because if I shut everything down, everything starts beeping and complaining. And so, power off, everything off, power off, simple as that. Then what it's showing me on the screen, the little L is letting us know I'm running on the leisure battery here. The lightning strikes let me know I'm on mains electric. Obviously the time in the top corner, and then it's just showing me the charge in the leisure battery there. Okay. Moving on to this side now, top one is your awning light. So that's the light on the outside of your door.
Yeah.
Obviously you know it's on because you've got the blue light's on, no blue lights off.
Okay.
Okay. Next one down is your dimmable lights. So it's the ones above the cupboard here and the ones above the cupboard in the back.
Okay.
Okay, but every time you switch that dimmer one on, it always comes up dimmer level on the screen there. So later if you're cracking open a bottle of bubbly and you've lost the kids, you can turn it down as low as 5. But obviously if the kids turn up and irritate you, you can turn it back up to 100.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay?
Yeah.
Next one down does all the rest of the lights in the van. But what it does, it just sends power to the switches. So imagine, for example, this one here. If I turn that off, it doesn't matter how many times I turn that on and off, that light will not come on.
Oh, no,
All
okay.
it's done is sent the power from here to there, so then you can turn it on.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then the last one is your water pump. Now, as you hear, I've turned your pump on now, it's no noise whatsoever. The only time your pump will run now is if you ask for water. So, you can hear your pump running
Yeah.
now. So when you're priming up your system, all you need to do is obviously attach your rack roll, make sure you've closed that tap down, and then it's cold tap first, so you've got constant running water. He says. Come on. Once you've got constant flowing water, all you need to do is shut it off, come round to the hot side, and leave it open on the hot. Now, I've already filled the boiler up, but it will take about 30-40 seconds, something like that. Because imagine what it's doing is filling up that boiler, pushing all the air out the pipes round to your tap. But once you've got running water on both sides, that's you done and dusted.
Yeah.
And if you run out of water, so if your aqua rolls run out, all you need to do is change it for fresh, come in here and just do the same as I've done then.
Yeah.
Because you will find there's still a little bit of air in the system. And if there's air gets to the pump will keep running until it can pressurise back up. That.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if your pump's ever running, just pull water through your taps on the other side.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy. So that's the basics up there. So as far as I'm concerned, that's all you really need to know for tonight.
Right.
All right. So you're confident you can switch it on and get some lights and your water pump.
Yeah.
Lovely. Right. I'll blow your mind now because I'll talk through the rest of it. So on this
Go
one,
already.
up and down arrows lets you scroll through the menus. Select in the middle lets you change what you're on. So blacked out, all you need to do is wave your hand past it and it wakes it back up. So dimmer level we've done. Next one down, heater settings. So I'm going to press select and it'll open up the menu. So what you can do on here is change it from manual control, which means I'm in control of your heating there, or if you want to use your app, change it to app. And what that means is then you can use your telephone to control your heating rather than using it on the unit up there.
Okay.
Okay, but just for now, I'm definitely going to leave it on manual because I'll show you how to use it normally first.
Okay.
All right, and then if you want to save it, all you do is push down, exit settings, select, takes me back out that menu and saves whatever you've selected in there.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So heater settings we've done. Next one, fridge settings. So what this is, as well as fridge controls on the fridge controls on your app, you've got fridge controls up here.
Okay.
Don't ask me why. Now, it doesn't matter which one you play with, it will always do whatever you last tell it to.
Okay.
So imagine if I turn it off here, but then I'm turning it back on the app, it will come back on because it'll do whatever the app says. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter which ones you play with,
Okay.
it will operate your fridge. So, select, opens it up. So currently I'm running the fridge on gas, but you can press select and it'll change it to 12 volt, that's obviously for driving down the road, 230 or 240, that's for your mains electric, off, and then auto. Now auto mode is really good because most of us run on electric, which is fine, but then if you move on to another site, as you're packing the van down, unplug the electric, it starts thinking, oh, I've got no power, but the second you plug it into the car and start up the car, it will automatically run off the car for you.
So you're better off just keeping it on auto.
Yeah, you can leave it on auto,
Yeah.
yeah, and it will literally scroll through until it finds a power source. It will, so imagine when you're packing down and you haven't quite got the car on, say it's 10 minutes or so, it will beep for 10 minutes saying, I've got no power, but the second you start the car and plug it in, woof, it'll power the fridge for you.
Okay.
Okay. So the other ones in here is, that's just setting the temperature. So obviously 5 is the maximum, down to 1 which is the lowest. Status, optimal, so that just means your fridge is ready to go. And then exit settings again now, so exit takes me back out.
Okay.
Alright, so next one down, system settings, select, opens up the menu. All the first one is just setting the time and the date. So you've got the hours, minutes, day, date, month and year. Then key beep, if you want it to beep or not every time anyone presses a button. Backlight is the amount of time your screen stays lit for in the middle. LED time, the amount of time the little blue LED lights stay lit for. Light mode. So what this means is, if you noticed before, when I turned that off, turned it back on again, some of the lights come back on. It remembers what you've had on. So if you're going out for a meal and you just turn it off there, what it means is when you come back and turn it back on, it will resume to whatever lights you had on.
Okay.
So say you've only got the ones on above the top there, when you switch it back on, it will only turn them back on.
Okay.
So it like remembers what it had on before.
Yeah.
Then tank alarms. Now you haven't got a tank in here. I know you've got a hot water tank, but this is more for a fresh water tank, which some vans do and some motorhomes do. All it is, it's built into the system. So if it's ever bleeping at you, telling you you've got a low water tank, ignore it. All it means is it switched that sensor back on. But the sensor doesn't do anything, so you just need to come in there and turn it back off.
Okay.
It's only if you reset, so if the van runs out of power, it may resort back to factory settings, so it will think it's got one.
Oh, right, okay.
Okay. Then Bluetooth pair. So this is obviously where we can pair your devices up. You can have numerous devices paired, but you can only use one device at a time to control it. So what it means is you can't be lying in bed turning the heating up while he's sat in here turning it back down.
Yeah.
Then Bluetooth delete. So if you ever want to delete the connection,
Yeah,
press
that's
one.
fine.
Then exit settings again. Select. So then leisure charging, it's just showing me the charge in your leisure battery. So that's where you can monitor the strength of your battery. So wherever you're keeping it stored, you can literally come in here, turn that on and check the strength of your battery. So you can see if it's dropping below 12 volts, either A, plug it into power directly to the van to charge it, or simply take the battery home with you or wherever and stick it on a trickle charger and charge it back up. All it is with your leisure battery, if you flatten it, it won't hold its charge again.
Oh, right.
So you always need to keep some life in them.
Okay.
Okay. Then, vehicle battery. So if we were plugged into the car, it'll tell you the strength in your car battery as well. Battery select. Oh, solar panel, sorry. Ignore that, you haven't got a solar panel. Again, it's one of them features that's built in, so you can't change it. Battery select, so this is where you can change over from L, leisure battery, which is ours here, to V, your vehicle battery. But in this modern day and age, there shouldn't ever really be a need to power the car. Again, it's if you're wild camping and the battery's flattened here, at least you can run off the 12 volt off the car.
Yeah.
But then obviously if you flatten your car, yeah. Leave the rest of that story. So, AC limit. Now, this is really good. Depending on what quality of sites you go to, like love to stay up there, 16 amps, you can throw all the electric you wanted it. You'll be doing well to overload it. But some sites, in France, say, are 6 amp, and others are 10 amps. So what you can do is set an amp limit for the vehicle.
Okay.
What it will mainly do, say you flick a kettle on, and the van thinks, oh wow, they want 8 amps or something, it'll shut your heating off for that period that kettle's going.
Right.
The minute the kettle finishes, it will resume its normal order. So the van tries to control the electric rather than tripping on the post externally. Okay, it's not foolproof, you can still overload it, but all it is the van will try and control it in here rather than it tripping outside.
Yeah.
Okay, and obviously if you don't want it on, all you do is just keep going up to 16 and then it goes back to off.
Okay.
Okay, last couple of bits now. So, internal temperature, press select, it'll tell me the internal humidity and also tell me the external temperature as well.
Okay. Do we need to buy those little dehumidifier little pot things?
I would personally, yeah. It does help keep it down. It depends how much
Okay.
you with the van. What the main thing is with caravans, a lot of people buy them, don't use them for 6 months, come back to it and they're like, oh, it smells funny in here. I'm like, well, yeah, you haven't aired it out for 6 months.
Yeah.
So obviously, naturally, it's getting hot and cold in here, and hot and cold produces condensation.
Yeah.
So yes, if you've got them in here, it does help keep it down.
Okay.
But the other thing is just come and air it out every now and then.
Well, it's going to be parked at home anyway,
Oh,
so...
fantastic. Well, the other good thing, especially this time of the year, is obviously A, plug it in every now and then and switch it on. I wouldn't leave it on all the time, but say once a week or so. And what you can also do is come and crank the heating on. And say leave a couple of windows open and just warm it up once a week or something.
Yeah.
And again, it helps keep the damp out of it, so
Okay.
it keeps it nice. It's more the way people look after it than anything else with a
Yeah.
caravan. Same as anything in life. You look after it, it'll look after you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's it for that control panel. I know I've just blown your minds, but as long as you're confident, on, off there, lights, water pump. Yeah, the rest you'll get with time.
Okay.
So, move on to the next one, your heating controls. So, as you see, on, off is just hold down the rollerball there in the centre. So, first one I'm on there, the little van symbol. I'm going to click the rollerball, opens it up. This is just setting the thermostat for your heating. So, same as you do at home, just plus or minus it to whatever level you want. So, say we'll put it on 20. And then the little flame above the top, you see it started flashing now.
Yeah.
That's letting me know the heating's in operation. When it's at solid, it means it's at temperature. When it's flashing, it means it's coming up to temperature.
Okay.
Next one over is, oh come on, there we go. Next one over is your hot water. Excuse me. Hot water is either off, eco, hot or boost. Now what boost mode does is it shuts off your heating system, puts all its power into that water boiler. So if the lovely young lady's robbed all the hot water in the shower, which happens quite often, what you can do is turn it onto water boost and it'll reheat that tank faster than it will do in normal operation.
Okay.
Okay, but once you're finished with boost, you do need to turn it back off, because remember when boost mode's on, you've got no heating.
No,
Because it's,
okay.
it's stolen all the power to heat up that tank
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Next one over is your power select. So the unit will run on gas by itself, mixed, which is roughly 1 kilowatts of electric and gas. Mixed 2 is 2 kilowatts of electric and gas. And then you've got electric 1 and electric 2, which is obviously 1 and 2 kilowatts of electric.
So what do you recommend?
Deepest, darkest winter, if you're in Siberia, or even when you initially get to the van, put it on mix 2, and that's maximum power you can send to it. So it's using all of the electric it can, and it's using the gas power as well. So everything will heat up faster for you. But then what you find, once it's warmed up, you may just want to turn it down then to maybe mix 1, or maybe even just electric 1 or 2.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? All it is the more power you send to it, the faster it'll heat up.
Yeah.
And there's no right or wrong because it's however you like it.
Yeah.
I've just moved into a flat that's freezing cold, and I spent the first couple of weeks with the heaters all blaring and that. Well, I've got used to it now, so I just have them. I put them on every now and then. So it's all what suits you. If you're warm-minded people, throw more power at it, it'll stay warmer. If you're quite cool people and you like it a bit colder, then just put it on the lower settings and it'll just keep it an ambient.
So the gas one is